Does anyone answer question? No questions, right? Things are all familiar, they're all very simple, very cheap. Hmm? People are very excited that we expected things that are very weird. These things are actually cheap. Yeah, so as people who are interested in computer vision, okay? Remember somewhere we were talking about CNN. I would get that. So CNN is a very important architecture that we have to look at when you're looking at computer vision. Are we together? So what is this CNN? Okay. So before we look at CNN, we have something called artificial neural network. Okay. What artificial neural networks are used for is predominantly for what? Extracting features from a grid-like matrix data set. Now, people who don't like math, where we are going, okay? You feel very uncomfortable when you dig deep altogether. But when you stay on the surface, you don't need to dig deep. It's like when you don't know how to swim and you go to a swimming pool. You can stay around and hang like a frog on those things, okay? And you relate. But once you go deep inside, you start to what? Start to struggle altogether. Yeah, so embrace math. All of these things you are seeing, you guys are taught linear algebra, isn't it? So let me tell you guys something that is outside there. When you get someone who calls himself a data scientist or an AI guy, are we together? And you tell him the fact that what you are doing is just linear algebra. You know they are not happy. They feel like you are reducing them. But that is the fact. The whole AI is actually linear algebra. Are we together? I'm sure that some people have been asking themselves, why do they even teach us these things? Linear algebra. Okay? If you want to make use of those lectures you've attended of linear algebra, you can what? Dig deep into these things of neural networks and deep learning, machine learning, and data analysis. You can be a data scientist. So when you look at CNN also does what? Feature extraction. Now CNN has very many layers for it to be able to train. Okay, together on your data set. So CNN has an architecture, as we can see here. Okay, the first thing that happens is that we have the first layer, that is the input layer. Okay, after the input layer, we have the configuration layer. After the configuration layer, we have what we call the pooling layer. After the pooling layer, we have the dense layer or the fully connected layers, isn't it? Then you have the output layers. How many are there? There are roughly 5. Okay. So as we are going to train our model, we are going to look at once after doing. You guys are familiar with that. Okay. When you guys remember the way we were trying to approach how to come up with price prediction. Okay. For the I don't know is it right or hours? So you remember you first start by having your imports, then you come and do some visualization, okay, of your data set, then you do data preparation, isn't it? Here we also do the same thing, but because we are using images, not numerical methods, some steps will have what? Different approaches, but those are still the same steps. Are we together? So the input layer, very simple, okay? All these layers are actually very simple. So just know when you are using CNN to train a model that's going to do image prediction or detection. Okay, you are going to have those layers. Those layers are going to play a role. The way you see those layers, that is how you are going to also structure your code. Are we together? Yeah. So we have the first layer is what we call the input layer. This one accepts input. Okay. But as someone who wants to be to dive deep into AI, don't stop at accept input data. Okay, you should go deep into how it accepts that data. Okay, all together. Yes. So an image an image is represented as a matrix of pixel value. So the input it is going to understand it. It is an image. Okay, but it is going to understand it in terms of pixels. Okay, you guys know what a pixel is? What's a pixel? Do we have guys who do graphics here? Photoshop guys. How many guys do Photoshop?